Noah Kahan has become one of the biggest names in folk music. However, his career hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. Today I'll be doing a deep dive on Noah Kahan and his unlikely rise to fame. My name is Paul Collins, and this is The Artist Project. Noah Kahan was born on New Year's Day, 1997, in Stratford, Vermont. He began writing music at the age of 8 and started uploading them to SoundCloud and YouTube, where he started to gain a little bit of exposure. He graduated from Hanover High School in Hanover, New Hampshire, and was admitted to Tulane University but decided not to attend and instead to focus on his career in music. Noah Kahan signed with Republic Records in 2017 and decided to move to New York City so he could spend time working on his music. He released his debut album, Busy Head, on June 14th, 2019. Though Noah Kahan is known today mostly as a folk rock artist, this first album was primarily alternative pop. Hurt Somebody, one of the singles off the album, actually did fairly well and even charted in some countries. After the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, he moved to his home in Vermont and recorded the EP Cape Elizabeth within just a week and released it in May of 2020. This EP was mostly acoustic and was our first look into Noah Kahan as a folk artist. In late 2020, Noah Kahan returned to Los Angeles and was working on his second album, I Was, I Am, which was then released on September 17th, 2021. Now let's rewind to 2020. Noah Kahan always had dreams of becoming a musician, but never had huge aspirations for himself or really expected it to work out. He's quoted saying, "I figured the best thing that could possibly happen is that it would have 6,000 streams and my friends think it is cool." By 2020 though, he started to burn out a little bit with the music process and said, "I loved music and I did not want to feel this way about it. Since I love it so much, I was willing to quit so I didn't have to hate it." In summer 2020, living under his parents' roof, having not found the success he was hoping for, Noah Kahan was ready to call it quits. Then, in October of that same year, he started posting some samples on TikTok of a song he had started writing called Stick Season, and they went viral. Over the next 2 years, he kept working on and reiterating the song, sometimes uploading some of those snippets that still were received super well. Finally, on July 8th, 2022, he released the full version of Stick Season. He also released another single titled Northern Attitude. Noah Kahan was making the transition from the poppier rock sounds that he'd been making to the full-on folk music that he'd really been passionate about his whole life. On October 14th, 2022, Noah Kahan released Stick Season, the album. Before I get into the huge, momentous shift that Stick Season caused for his career, let's talk about the actual music that Noah Kahan makes and my experience listening to it. Like I do for every episode of The Artist Project, I listened to all of Noah Kahan's discography, which truthfully didn't take me that long, especially compared to some of the other artists I've done. Truthfully, his earlier stuff was pretty underwhelming for me. It wasn't until I heard that EP, Cape Elizabeth, that I could see where his potential was going to go as a folk artist. Now, it's important to note the meaning of Stick Season. Stick Season represents this colloquial named season in Vermont that refers to the time between the end of fall and the beginning of winter, where all the trees are dead and all you can see are sticks and it's really cold, but it hasn't quite snowed yet, giving it the fun wintry feel. Stick Season is a pretty dreary image, and that bleak feeling is what is well represented on the album Stick Season. Noah Kahan talks about his northern attitude and being a little bit roughened up from growing in the Northeast where there's not a whole lot of light. Stick Season talks about a breakup he had and goes into the details of how heartbroken he is. He addresses alcoholism, mental health, religion, and so many other topics on the album. And it is so clear that Noah Kahan is deep in his emotions when sharing this music. Stick Season is not for the lighthearted, but it's so powerful. My recommendation is to just go listen to the entire album. He re-released it 2 other times after the first release, but I would personally recommend just starting with the original 14-track album and then moving on from there. And also, before getting into that, please go listen to Main off of that EP. I think it's just a great place to start. Well, here we are in 2024, and Stick Season's been released 3 times, has had huge features, and the tour has been wildly successful. At this point, he's basically a household name. But this album's also really been the only demonstration of his true potential in folk music. Where's Noah Kahan going to go next? I think that's what everyone's pretty curious about at this point. Maybe by the time you're seeing this video, there's some new music announced or something else coming our way. Who knows, but either way, I'm so glad that Noah Kahan didn't quit making music in the summer of 2020. Join me next time where I'll be discussing the Arctic Monkeys and their influence as one of the biggest rock bands of the 21st century. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and as always, my name is Paul Collins, and this is The Artist Project.
I wanna